Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. My name's FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. In today's video, we're going to be looking back at my Game Week 22 team and seeing how I got on, and then looking forward to my Game Week 23 team, which is a double game week for Arsenal and for Manchester City. If you are new around here, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and yeah, drop this video a like too. Let's get into it. So now let's quickly recap over my Game Week 22 team before we look at the transfers I've made for Game Week 23. So he did end up with 74 points, just a 4K red arrow, which I'm pretty happy with as I did not play my triple captain. So Ederson, another disappointing game week really for him. Big mistake going Ederson over Kepa, but at the same time, probably a positive if Man City did perform of going Ederson over Stones or Kanji or Ake. So I won the Man City battle, but I kind of lost the goalkeeper battle. Disappointing in defence, and Newcastle did concede, which was disappointing as I did go for a double Newcastle defence against West Ham at home. A game I thought they'd win by not conceding, but they failed to do so. Ben White, another disappointment. So Everton beat Arsenal 1-0, which is great because I don't want Arsenal to win, but disappointing for FPL. Another disappointment, like I said, Arsenal lost Martinelli, and he came off before 60 minutes. I am worried about him coming off that early, but I just feel like Arteta wanted to kind of change the way Arsenal played a little bit rather than it was anything to do with Martinelli's performance. Again, another disappointment, just constant disappointments with my team, really. Almiron, 2 points. He hasn't really done the business for me since the World Cup, and I didn't own him pre-World Cup, so pretty upset with that one. Rashford and Fernandes in the double game week, done really well. Rashford a goal and an assist, a couple bonus, and then a goal in the Leeds game too. I was in kind of a weird situation as I did not triple captain Rashford. And in my mini leagues, a lot of people did. So I was kind of wanting him not to do that well. But I had a look at live FPL, where you can see your live rank. And Rashford's goal and ownership was actually less than 200%, which means a lot of people around me, on an average, didn't actually captain Rashford. So the points actually benefited me in a way, but not good for my mini leagues. I did bring in Fernandes this week, so good to get the goal and free bonus last time out, but disappointed not to get anything in that Leeds game. Andreas off the bench as Martial was injured again. I don't know why I left him in. I thought maybe he'd come back, start up front. United look a bit better with him up front. But yeah, disappointing. Martial didn't make the team as he was injured again. And yeah, Fulham 0-0 and Andreas got a yellow card, so he only picked up 2 points. My strikers, Harry Kane did the business. Goal against Man City, 2 bonus, and now he's Tottenham's record goal scorer ever. So yeah, happy with them points and happy I've got him in my team. Haaland, disappointing. He just doesn't do it against the big 6 teams. I've mentioned it a few times. He has only scored against Spurs and against Man United. He scored a hat-trick. Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, and the game against Spurs the other day hasn't really done that well. So maybe something to bear in mind if you are looking at triple captaining him in this game week, because they do have Arsenal away. 0 points on my bench apart from Ward. A lot of players, Martial, orange flagged, Patterson, red flagged. So not the best bench, but we'll move on to the Game Week 23. Double Game Week 23 team, and you can see the 2 transfers I've made. So now for my defence, the same defence as my Game Week 22 team. So Ederson, double game week, Villa at home and Arsenal away. I'm confident of a clean sheet in that Villa at home game, but Arsenal away, I think it will be tough. I think it will be a close game, and it's going to be a hard one to call. And it all depends on what type of Man City turn up. As they have been very inconsistent this season. But yeah, hoping for a clean sheet in that Aston Villa at home game, and then anything else is a bonus against Arsenal. Also gone for the double Newcastle again, so it didn't work last week, but I'm hoping it can work this week against Bournemouth away. Bournemouth have been struggling recently. They did have a little resurgence, but now they're struggling again, and I think Newcastle can keep a clean sheet, and hopefully Trippier can get some attacking returns too. So Ben White, I've gone for. Again, a double game week, 2 home fixtures, Brentford and Man City at home. I am a little worried about Ben White's minutes, as Tomiyasu has played a few games recently in the cup, but I'm pretty confident he will be first choice, as he's been great throughout this season. And yeah, I've kept him in, and hopefully a clean sheet against Brentford, and then we'll see what happens against City, as I do have players from both teams. But now we'll move on to the real part, the big part of the team, where I've made a couple of transfers that will hopefully boost up my rank and help me climb the mini leagues. So just a quick one before we move on to my transfers. 85% of you are watching and not subscribed, which is massive, and I really love it if you did subscribe to the channel. I do release content every week, a couple videos at least, and it can help you increase your rank and rise up your mini league. So it will really help out the channel. Just hit that subscribe button. Cheers. So next up, we'll move on to the midfield. I have decided to keep both my Man United assets, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. They do play Leeds away, who they've just played last night. So it is Man United did score 2 goals in that game, and Rashford was one of them. We do know now that Fernandes is on penalties, as he did score one in the Palace game in the double game week just gone. So yeah, really looking forward to kind of maximise the points from them two, and get as many points as I can before they do blank in game week 25. So Martinelli will be playing alongside them, Brentford at home and City at home in a double game week. I'm not too confident he will start both games, but I feel like he'll get enough minutes to do damage, and hopefully he starts the Brentford game rather than the Man City game. Although that could be false, as Brentford could be more solid than Man City. Who knows? And my transfer this week, one of them at least, is Almiron for Mahrez. So Almiron hasn't performed since the World Cup. He's only got 1 goal, and Mahrez has done pretty okay recently for Manchester City. He did get a monster haul against Spurs, and he's been chipping in along the way too. And for that price, 7.7 million, he's a fantastic option. So I could have gone Salah I could have gone Almiron. I could have gone Bruno Fernandes to KDB, but I've actually decided to go Mahrez, because I think Mahrez is the better option, and I'd rather have Mahrez and Fernandes over Almiron and KDB, as I do feel like Almiron is due a benching soon, as he hasn't delivered with goals or assists, and I do have Anthony Gordon, St. Maximin back from injury, so there is a lot of competition. But let me know below what you think of this transfer, Almiron to Mahrez. We'll move on to my next transfer now, and the forward line. It's now onto my forward line that does include 2 double game week players and my captain, potential triple captain. So we'll start off with the single game week player. So Harry Kane, Leicester away. Kane loves playing against Leicester, and Spurs always score a bag full of goals against them. I remember them playing earlier on in the season, and I'm pretty sure Spurs ended up scoring 4, I think it was. Let me just quickly check. This was the game that Son came on and scored a hat-trick when he was benched. And I remember going to a game a few years ago where it was towards the end of the season, and Harry Kane scored 4 against Leicester away, and Spurs won 6-1. So Spurs absolutely love playing them, and I can see another thrashing really. Maybe not 5 or 6, but I could see Spurs scoring a few and Leicester scoring a couple too. So the game was 6-2 last time round, so 8 goals. So I do expect there to be goals again. And now Harry Kane is the Spurs top goal scorer ever. I expect him to carry that on and then beat Wayne Rooney's record in the Premier League, which he's nearing. Next up, we'll go for my transfer in. So Martial to Nketiah, pretty simple one. Martial has been terrible since I've had him. Nketiah does have Brentford at home and City at home. So Brentford is probably the better game on paper, and I'm hoping he can get a return or a couple returns in that one, and then go into the City game not kind of needing to deliver. But I do fancy Arsenal to score in that game, although I do have Ederson. I do fancy both teams to score, and I feel like Nketiah being Arsenal's number 9 and his the main person up front, then yeah, definitely a great option. Finally, Erling Haaland. So he will be my captain this week, potentially triple captain. So Villa at home, Arsenal away. The only thing putting me off of triple captain in Haaland is the fact that he hasn't really delivered against the big six sides. So like I mentioned earlier on in the video, he scored one against Spurs at home, and then he scored against Man United, the hat-trick at home. But against the other big sides, he hasn't really performed. I'm just keeping the captain on him because I do feel like he will perform in that Villa game. And it all depends on what City turns up against Arsenal. If Pep decides to do something random and, I don't know, play Rico Lewis up front and Mahrez left back, then who knows? But if Pep kind of keeps it simple, plays Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Ake, and keeps it solid, plays De Bruyne, Mahrez, Foden or Grealish, then I feel like Haaland can do well, and he's definitely an option for job captain if you do have him. For me, I'm going to wait though. The Arsenal away fixture is really, really putting me off. And I feel like there's potential better double game weeks coming up for Manchester City towards the end of the season. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. Who are your transfers in? And if you haven't already, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one.